Moving on now, India has offered to slash its tariff gap with the United States to less than 4% from nearly 13% in exchange for an exemption from President Donald Trump's current and potential tariff hikes. This, according to reports. It would mean that the average tariff differential between India and the US, calculated across all products without waiting for trade volume, would be reduced by 9 percentage points. The United States is India's largest trading partner, with bilateral trade totaling $129 billion last year. The trade balance is currently in favour of India, which runs a $45.7 billion surplus with the US. Trump announced on Thursday his administration's first breakthrough deal with the United Kingdom. It lowers average British tariffs on US goods, but keeps in place the 10% base tariff imposed by Washington on British goods, reportedly after the UK, India and Japan are the next two nations in line to finalise a deal. Last month, Trump announced a 90-day pause on his long-planned reciprocal tariffs on global trading partners, including a 26% tariff on India, while his administration negotiates trade deals. A 10% base tariff continues to apply to India and up to 70 other nations during this pause. Well, joining us to discuss these developments is Ross Feingold, a political analyst joining us from Taipei. Ross, as always, thank you ever so much for being here with us. Let's first go back to this agreement with the United States and the United Kingdom before we touch on the developments today. Do you think this is the first of many deals to come? And what will be the ramifications to the global markets that at points have been in turmoil?
It's highly likely that this is the first of many deals to come. Even President Trump, as well as his top advisors, they've been very public in saying that a large number of countries have sought to have bilateral trade discussions with the United States to prevent the imposition of the reciprocal tariffs. And I think the fact that the U.S. has basically reached a deal with the United Kingdom, it's talking with India, it's going to be talking with China in the coming days. I think it shows that the Trump administration is sincere in willing to negotiate with major trading partners of the United States. Of course, what the actual deal will be with each trading partner will vary considerably. But I think the Trump administration, to be fair to them, they're open for business. They're open to discussions.
Yes, Ross, let's now come on to the reports that India is looking to slash the tariffs to the United States, slash that imbalance down to below 4%. Do you think this is a move to get the deal over the line following these conversations that we saw with J.D. Vance and Prime Minister Narendra Modi and ongoing discussions? Or do you think this is maybe a desperate push to get a deal done so there aren't further ramifications moving forward?
I would look at it in a positive way, that it's a good offer from India. They hope the United States will accept it. I think it also shows that the negotiations with India are progressing and that the Trump administration has made India a priority trading partner to have these discussions. There's so many dozens of countries that want to have negotiations with the United States before the reciprocal tariffs take effect. And there's only 24 hours in a day. There's only so many personnel on both sides of the table when the United States is negotiating with other countries. So I think it's a good sign for India-U.S. relations that the United States, the Trump administration, has made India a priority country for these bilateral talks and for reaching a deal. So for the moment, I would look at the developments and the offer from India as a positive, and we'll see what comes next from the Trump administration from the U.S. side.
Yes, absolutely. There have been positive comments, of course, from the United States talking about a deal being close. Other nations who we know have had meetings, of course, Japan, South Korea, but there is a meeting upcoming amongst this ongoing trade tensions with China. What's the significance of this upcoming meeting, Ross?
I think it also shows that even with China, the Trump administration is willing to reach a deal. The Trump administration, at least President Trump, as distinguished from other people in the Trump administration, President Trump is not talking about disengaging from bilateral trade with China. In fact, he's looking to get China to buy more U.S. goods, and specifically agricultural products, and he's looking to get China to reduce some of those non-tariff trade barriers that keep United States companies from competing fairly in China. So at the moment, Trump is not talking about disengaging from China trade. He's actually looking for more China trade if China is willing to come to the table and reach a bilateral a deal acceptable to both sides and specifically to the Trump administration. So for the moment, it looks like Trump is willing to deal with China as well.
Ross Feingold, as always, thank you very much for your insight. We will, of course, bring you the updates from the ongoing discussions with India